The Tampa Bay Buccaneers 2024 season was, again, it was an average season, I guess. It was a decent level to average. It wasn't the greatest season. Um, Sorry, I guess just had some soda. But anyway, it wasn't really the best season they had. Again, they was 10-7 in the NFC South. Yeah, I mean, the last couple of years they won the NFC South more under Todd Bowles than they have in the many in the last seasons prior. And again, you look at the NFC South, it isn't really a tough division. Right? When you look at it, you've got the Saints in there, who are, a disaster. The Panthers are fucking. You don't know where they're at either. The fucking Falcons. I'll talk about them. They're coming up next after this, but. Yeah, man, it's just one of those where, yeah, you're first in your division, you win your division, and what? Like, yeah, that's great, guys. Um, this was also during in the offseason 2024, they lost Dave Canales to the Panthers, their division rivals. Dave Canales, again, this is the problem when you have you're having, especially now with the Bucks, with now they've got a defensive minded head coach in Todd Bowles. This is the second year now that you've lost two offensive coordinators. You've lost Dave Canales in 2024. 2024 you Dave Canales to the Panthers. 2025 you lost Liam Cohen to the Jags, and it's gonna happen every year just because again you're a defensive minded head coach. And again, look at the work that Dave Canales did with Baker Mayfield and especially, and then Liam Cohen continued that on. Pretty impressive, man. They've got about 9 million in cap space, so you haven't got a lot of cap space to really work around signings and stuff like that. But the whole thing with Liam Cohen, let's talk about it. I talked about it in the Jacksonville video, but let's talk about it again for the final time. And after this, it's not getting talked about again. So anyway, after the end of the 2024 season, Shad Khan wanted Liam Cohen, but again, Tampa Bay wanted to keep him and make him the highest offensive coordinator in the league, the most paid offensive coordinator in the league. Now, they did this a number of years ago with Brian Leftwich. Brian Leftwich was on with a couple of NFL jobs in 2022. He decided to stay as an offensive coordinator, but again, it didn't really work out for Byron Leftwich. He got fired in 2020. He got fired after that, and he hasn't had an offensive coordinator job or any NFL interviews for an head coaching job, which is sad. Again, he was sad really because he was doing some good work as well, and then he decided to stay. But again, ignore that spot on my fucking forehead, guys. With Liam Cohen, he's probably thinking, look, am I going to get another chance to become a head coach again? So again, they let him go to the interview. He then goes back to Tampa. Then he takes the interview anyway. Then for the experience, they said the Bucks are like, look, take this interview, get some experience, and if they don't take you, then look, you've had some experience of getting interviewed. And then ultimately he withdraws from the Jacksonville interviewing, being the candidate. He withdraws from being the candidate, and ultimately bypasses the Rooney Rule and just fucking becomes. He has Shad Khan unveiling him, and he's got stupid fucking. Again, I'm not gonna mark it too much because Dan Campbell did that with his first press conference, but yeah, Liam Cohen is gone, and they have to find a third offensive coordinator in 3 years. And their new offensive coordinator is Josh Gizzard. Josh Gizzard is your new offensive coordinator. George Edward is your new defensive lineman. He was a former defensive lineman with the Vikings. He's been kind of here and there and stuff like that. But again, you got Josh Gizzard and George Edward as your defensive line and your offensive coordinator and defensive coordinator. They started the season 2-3. They lost to the Falcons, and then Irving had 1,122 rushing yards, Mike Evans had a fantastic year again. He is level now with Jerry Rice with the most one of the most receiving yards in the NFL. Again, what a Hall of Fame what a Hall of Fame fucking career he's having as well, Mike Evans. Again, he's 31 though, kind of at the tail, getting to that peak of his kind of NFL career now, kind of entering the twilight of his career. But again, you still have the likes of Mike Evans. You have Cade Otto, Trey Palmer. So you have a lot of great additions. You have some good additions. You have Baker Mayfield, who had a fantastic year. He had 4,508 passing yards. You had Lacey Rogers. He is now the defensive coordinator for the Lions again. He did some good stuff in Tampa Bay. But again, you look at the needs. They need to look at edge, quarterback, wide receiver, quarterback that has to, again, you know, Baker Mayfield's done well, but again, you're probably looking at that next era. You're looking at that next young guy, that next QB. Now again, is it going to be in this draft class? Probably not, but you're going to have to find that quarterback at some point. Safety, offensive tackle, and tight end. So again, you need quite a bit of weapons here. Again, you've only got $9 million in cap space, but again, you know, Trey Palmer, you can maybe move him on. Again, the Logan Hall you have Brees Hall. Again, you have a couple of good additions here that maybe you can move some of these guys on, but again, Mike Evans, you kind of need to find a replacement for Mike Evans at some point. Even though he's still having a great seasons in the NFL, you still need to look at having him kind of find somebody maybe in this draft that can sit behind Mike Evans for a year or two, and then learn behind him. But you have a first round pick, you have a second round pick, you have a third round pick, fourth and fifth and sixth, and you have a seventh round pick. So again, see what you can. If you're not really doing much in the free agency, but in the draft you can look around, see what you can find. But yeah, man, they go out in the wild card round, losing 20-23 in the wild card round. Again, it's just meteoric Tampa Bay, and I think again, I like Todd Bowles as a head coach, but I think he just has a certain ceiling that he's going to get you 10 or 11 games, he'll win you 10 or 11 games, win you a division, get you to a playoff place, and that's about it. I just don't think he's going to be the guy to win you a championship, to get you to a championship game. But let's see what you guys think.